So what I did was I read case studies, not from the front to the back, but tried to understand why did a professor come up with this case study? What is it trying to teach? So I tried to project myself in the professor's mind. What's the essence of this case study? And jot down a few thoughts. And sure enough, things were going south or veering off. And when I said something, professor smiled, and class was back on the track. So after that, every time I raise my hand, hey. So my old classmates were wondering, why are these professors pointing to you every time you raise your hand? I don't understand. So I think it's so important that you figure out what's going on around you, and that's the real critical part of communication. You can say a lot from your perspective, but why do we have meetings? We want to solve problems, right? We're not just gathering for social fun. So we have a problem, issues, or whatever task that we have to resolve. And the person who organized that meeting need to get to the bottom of the answer. So you help that person, and that's how you are going to be shown and recognized. And it's a fairly simple logic, but again, going back to the humility, if you think you know better than anybody else in the room, why would I listen to anybody? I know better than anybody. So I'll just say what I think is the right thing to do. But it's not helping the organization. So I think that's very important. And here I'm speeding up a little bit, so I'm leaving out a lot of details, so I apologize. But this one, we all do that, right? Email, texting, and all that, using all kinds of nonverbal symbols and all that. Here's a satire that I listened in National Public Radio about the current trend. This freelance writer reported what he covered to his boss. Couple paragraphs, email, and the reply back from his boss was shorter. That's all the boss said, shorter. So this freelance writer was really fuming. He was mad. Said, "Did you even read what I sent? I just sent 2 paragraphs, not 2 pages, and you just said shorter." And the second reply said, shorter. So he got it. Okay, I get it. That you want only the essence of the messages, and you don't have all the time to read that, even maybe 2 paragraphs. So he started practicing that in his real life, and he goes to a cocktail party or some dinner gathering, and having conversation, and he would patiently listen, and he said shorter, and then he walk away. So he tell everybody shorter, and then walk away. And in the end, he started doing that to his wife. And you can guess what happened. So that's a satire, but it is really happening. It is really happening in real life, workplace. People cannot have patience and attention to read 2, 3, 4 paragraphs in the email, because we become like that. So all the context, all the main messages, important messages are lost, because you cannot write in shorter and convey everything, right? And even young people, younger than some of you, young people don't answer the phone. They have the phone, but they read text message and they'll respond to the text message. They don't pick up the phone. So in that small window, how many words can you convey? How many thoughts can you convey? We are losing our communication skills rapidly, that these people cannot express what they think. And they cannot even, they don't even know the words, the meaning of the words, some of the words, native speakers included. So if you practice, convey the concise, clear message, core message in a succinct format at the right time, then people will notice you. It's not that you say a lot, but you can say small, little, but people will notice that. It's tremendously important, I think, because what you have up here, people will never know, right? You have to express. And I talk about righteousness, compassion. During the break, I had good discussion. Please don't misunderstand me emphasizing the righteousness doesn't mean at all that we should become like God and trying to judge people. That's furthest from my message. What I meant by that is you have to understand that you do things with justice. That you have to have principle. You have to have your principle. For us, believers, we know what our principles are and should be. It's all written in the Bible. So you have to have your principles and be fair. By that principle, be fair, not wishy-washy. And you are not going to be popular if you do that. And you have to give up. If you want to become a leader, you have to give up. You are not in the popularity contest. You are not in the beauty pageant. You are not going to be loved by everybody. I call that Clinton syndrome. So President Clinton wanted to be loved by everybody. He messed up a lot of things, right? So you have to have principle. And fairness is not equality. A lot of people are confused by that. And fairness is not impartiality either. A lot of people are confused by that too. In my view, fairness is recognizing differences in each individual, capability-wise, intellectual capacity, everything else. Assign challenging but doable responses. Those are key operative words, challenging but doable responsibilities and providing growth opportunities. So let me elaborate a little bit that. I like cars, so I'm one of those car crazy people, stupid people. But cars have 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders, 12 cylinders, even some crazy car maker make 18 cylinders and all that. They're all different, right? You cannot expect, you bought a 4-cylinder car and expect 12-cylinder performance out of that car. You would call that person crazy, right? So if you are 12-cylinder person, bless your heart. That's great. You cannot expect your people, he or she is still 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder, they're growing. You cannot expect them to be like yourself and give the task that you can do to this 4-cylinder person, and every 2 seconds go up there and say, why can't you do this? That's where this fairness breaks down. Because he or she, the manager, may be doing this, treating everybody equally. I'm giving challenging tasks to everybody, equal opportunity, equal opportunity to fail. And I'm impartial. I am not favoring this person or that person. I'm perfectly fair. That's not fairness, in my view. From the receiving end, that's totally unfair. I'm 4-cylinder person, and you're expecting me to perform 12-cylinder capacity. How is that fair? So you have to recognize differences in capabilities. It's crucial. It's crucial for a good leader to understand each person brings different things, different capabilities. You assign challenging but doable tasks. You gotta provide growth opportunities so that 4-cylinder person becomes 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 12-cylinder, like you may have today. Goes back to communication, attentive listening. My phrase is one size bigger head. And you go to management classes or training, a lot of times people say, or you go to interdepartmental kind of meetings, people say, take off your own hat, take off your organizational hat. You are here for the company, not for your department. I'll say that's ridiculous. You belong to that organization. So how can you say betraying everything that your department wants, if you're a department head, how can you say, I don't care about my department, I only care about the university in this case? You can't do that. That's unrealistic expectation. So you gotta keep your head. But on top of that, wear one size bigger head, the university head. So when you talk to dean, you understand dean's problems, not just your department interest and issues. So that's what prevents this parochialism. You see this cartoon here? He's drawing portrait of this lady, but he's drawing himself. So I don't know how many times we do this, really. A lot, many times. You gotta really lead the people. And my mantra is you should be invisible when things go well. Your team leaders say you should be invisible, and all the credit should go to your team members because things are going well. You don't need to be in front of team, and because of me, because of my capability, team's doing well. Oh, don't worry about these team members, they understand. It's all by my excellency and my accomplishment, my capability. You don't need to do that. When things go bad, you have to be completely visible, right at the forefront of the team, and defend and resolve the problems.